Shit. It's the Archivest, y'all. Exclusively
up?
Interviewing Ricochet out the iLLKidz.
Yeah, we in the building, baby. You already know what it is. We all doing the thing. Let's go.
For sure. And who is Toronto's iLLKidz?
Toronto's iLLKidz. Toronto's iLLKidz is, one of the founding sound crews of the 90s out of Toronto. We're the Canadian Club DJs of the Year, Toronto Club DJs of the Year, CP Records official DJs recently down as a part of the affiliates, first Canadian DJs part of the affiliates, and just two wild motherfuckers, man. That's what's up.
For sure. And found in 1993. Let us know the history of the iLLKidz and where your success is at today.
Okay, history of the iLLKidz. Wow, like you said, man, back in like 93, me and my childhood friend Juice hooked up, just two little kids, with a little dream, a little bit of cash, and kind of had this idea of just wanted to be a DJ, man. Just seeing, just being growing up as you're younger, it's kind of you watch all the movies, and then you always see a DJ in the cut, and actually, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was watching Electric Circus one day, and I kind of seen the DJ, and I'm like, fuck, that'd be cool as hell, So hooked up with my man Juice, copped 2 pair of turntables, and just started fucking around, just had something to do in the meantime. It wasn't really like a business or nothing at that time. We were 13 years old, 14 years old, and it was just kind of something to fuck with, a hobby and whatnot. Just started cultivating it, and before we knew it, it grew into something real, something tangible, something that we both loved, and kind of just turned into my career, So yeah.
And what is some of your best radio show memories from the after hours that you can share with us?
We're going back, brother. The after hours was a community. It was on a community radio station by CHOY 105.5. That was at York University. It's funny. It was the after hours because it ran from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. So basically a night shift once a week that we would just go in, put it down, and spend 5 hours putting it down at the radio station. There was some crazy shit that went down at that radio station. You know what I mean? It was like a party house every Wednesday night. Well, it was Wednesday night. It was a party house, man. It was crazy. We would have like I said, we were mad young. We were still in high school, so we had at that time the clique was mad deep. You know what I mean? Chicks are coming in and out. Chicks are calling the radio station. So it was crazy, man. We always had parties there. I just remember always going to. Because I was still in high school, so we would literally drag our crates from the radio station to school. So I remember just walking into class drunk as hell, late, and just hung over from the radio shows, But it was all worth it, man. It panned out now. So.
Any guest appearances that you had on the radio show?
We had a lot of people. At that time, Toronto hip-hop, Canadian hip-hop in general was starting to bubble real serious. And at that time, everybody was coming through the show. Ghetto Concept, Shot Claire, Red Life at that time, just a lot of up and coming, a lot of up and coming acts at that time that were up and coming. Some that were already established. That was a base to come through and kind of preview your next single or talk about your next project. It's just too much guys to come in to remember, but that's probably because we were always getting high too. So
most definitely, wio-k and Red Life.
wio-k was in there. Danny O was in it at times.
That Dear Hip Hop track.
Yeah, everybody was through there at the time. It was pretty crazy. It was a good time to be on the radio and a good time to be in Toronto, definitely.
And then taking it to the flow, hitting the first Canadian urban station airwaves. What did this do for you? And let us know out west how it's done.
Getting on Flow was a big deal. Flow had come about and kind of changed the whole game as far as what DJs knew about radio, because we never had a commercial radio station other than Mastermind doing his thing on Energy 108. He had a show, I believe it was weekly or twice a week that went down. That was our only real, hip hop on commercial radio. So when Flow came around, we seen it as an opportunity just to show the city at that time what we were doing and to get involved in just supporting local talent. You know what I mean? So initially we weren't given a show, so we kind of worked our way into the live to air situation. So we're basically one of the first DJs as the radio station started to be consistently on live to air, and that went from basically the beginning of the radio station to early this year. So it was a good run. It was lots of fun. Like I said, the main thing of that was it gave us an outlet to basically push the artists that deserve to be pushed, you know what I mean? So that's how it's done, man. Out west, I'm sure it's the same thing. You know, you guys had the beat running for a while, and I'm sure like everybody out here understands what the Steez was, and yeah, it's a great thing.
For sure. And what's the biggest crowd that you've rocked as iLLKidz?
Wow. We've done shows with like 16, 17,000 people. I would say that was probably some of the biggest shows, you know what I mean?
What's the word on Caravana?
Actually, Caravana is probably the biggest show now that you said it, because there's about 2 million people on the road up there. Caravana is very unique. Caravana is something that if you haven't been to Caravana and you don't know what it is, basically it's a Caribbean parade that takes place down Lakeshore, which is one of the major streets in the downtown core. And we just shut shit down, and 2 million people have a big block party, my brother. It's bananas. There's no other way to describe it. It's you know, I think I always consider ourselves lucky to have an event like that. And like I said, it's a good platform for us to, you know, show what we got to the rest of the world. Caravana was responsible for like taking us to the United States and, you know, giving us a strong following in a lot of other cities. So crazy, that's all I can say.
And what is some of the biggest concerts that you've played for, and what was your best show about these accomplishments?
I mean, we played for the likes of Jay-Z, Kanye West, Fat Joe, Nas. It just goes on and on and on. For everybody you can think of that came through the city, we were there. Wyclef, it goes on. I think the Jay-Z joint was the biggest, you know, biggest party we got to play. You know, you're playing for Jigga, and to be able to meet, that was a while back too. That was back in the early '90s when they were on the Hard Knock Life tour. First time DJing with my man Clue as well, and first time getting to meet Hov and Memph. You know what I mean? And at that time, we like, you know, we weren't sure if he was going to be one of the greatest alive. Like, he was still doing his thing, but you know, as we see now, he's definitely, you know, in my opinion, the greatest rapper alive. So to meet him then and to see where he's gone now, it's always been like a defining moment in my career. I always look back to that moment and say, damn, I got to work with one of the greats. We've also done parties like with Drake, you know what I mean, with Drizzy. So that's before he was Drizzy. That's when he was just Drake, you know what I mean. And like I said, that's real dear to me as well, to see the kid go from, you know, having that hunger and to obviously now being one of the greatest that's doing it as well. So, you know, those are definitely some big moments.
And on BET, Big Tig saying you're some of the favorite in the North. How does this feel to be recognized on that mainstream level?
I mean, it feels real great. You know, we're lucky to have a good relationship with Tigger. Again, back when he was on BET, you know, we had a lot of opportunities to work together, and it was just, you know, when you party with Tigger, it's a party, you know. So we just really clicked a lot. He liked what we was doing, and I feel very honored for him to be able to say that. You know what I mean? It's a real big deal. Obviously, for a dude like that working with every DJ that's possibly out in the game and knowing everybody, to get that love from him, it really means a lot, you know what I mean?
And obtaining Club DJ of the Year for the STYLUS DJ Awards for 2010. Tell us your thoughts on getting this.
I mean, the first time around when we had won, it was like, you know, it was surprising, to be honest. Like, at that time, STYLUS was like, I think 4 years deep. And, you know, you kind of get your hopes up the first 3 years. You're like, damn, you know, you kind of want to win the award. I want to get that piece of silver and bring it back home. But by the fourth year, I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm still doing me. I'm doing my thing. So if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. But I'm not even front. Once they called our name first time around, so I was just like, I was speechless. You know what I mean? Like, when I got up, couldn't remember who I was supposed to shut out and you know, do whatever. But it was a really good feeling, because that's given to you by your peers. You know what I mean? So to know that your peers, like, respect you for what you're doing, and it means a lot. And to win it again the year later and take home, like, the Canadian Club DJ rather than Toronto Club DJ, it was even more surprising, because at that time I thought, all right, we had gotten an award. There's a lot of DJs in the country doing a thing, you know what I mean? So to get that award was even, it was more exciting, you know? It was more exciting. Especially to have my fam with me at that time. It was like, we were just about to take the stage and perform with Belly and Reppin CP Records. So, yeah, that was an honor as well, you know? So it was a good feeling.
And what are some of your best events that you've been a part of in the club atmosphere?
I mean, anything to do around Caravana is always amazing. Nowadays, we're traveling a little bit more and leaving Canada, starting to go to the U.S. and doing shows over there. So, I mean, playing in Miami was definitely an eye opener. And I don't know if I could say one of the biggest, but lately what I can remember is an eye opener to take what you do in Toronto and to go to Miami, and just to be able to go to Miami and everybody like asking you where you're from, and when you say Toronto, the kind of like the wow and the respect factor that you get out of that kind of means a lot, you know what I mean? So just because you don't really think, you know, back in the days, you don't, when you're thinking DJs and hip hop, they don't think of Toronto. Now Toronto's the hot spot, the place to be. So getting the respect and the love out there means a lot. So I'd have to say lately, you know, Miami's been a good look. Looking forward to do South America too this year. So.
And collaborating with Jay-Z, Ludacris, Kanye West and Rihanna, Genuine and 112 and 50 Cent, what has been some of your favorites and why?
Collaborating all them on the party tip is all of them have been. I can't single out one event. You know what I mean? How can you when you say the likes of cats like that? You know, all of those events are really memories on their own. You know what I mean? Just you really feel like, you know, honored. It's like, I can't even say it. You feel real honored just to be able to play a party that Jay-Z's at, or, you know, Jay-Z's hosting a party. You get to play, Fab's hosting a party. You're there getting a chance to meet and connect with a lot of these dudes means a lot as well. You know what I mean? It's the groundwork. It's putting down the groundwork for bigger things. So I can't really say one party was a better party than the other. They were all equally, you know, up there, and definitely always honored to do them joints. So.
And what has been some of your best hip-hop memories that you've been part of or contributed to?
You know what? My biggest memory, I would say, came this year, not as something I was a part of, but something I got to witness. You know, Jersey came back to Toronto, did the OVO Fest, and to sit there and watch 18,000 people make that much noise and go that crazy over an artist that, you know, 4 years ago we were sitting in the studio eating pizza, playing video games, and to see them go that nuts and that crazy over a kid that, you know, is from their hometown. You know, as Canadian, that meant a lot. Like, that meant a lot just to see that we're starting to respect and love our own. To see that kind of response, and to see him, you know, bring together so much great rappers in one building. For him to bring out Eminem, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Fab, you know, and even to see him bring out Cardi and show Cardi the love and respect as well, it was just something to, like, I felt real proud to be part of Canadian hip hop at that moment, you know. So yeah, I would say it wasn't even something I was a part of, something I was able to witness for sure.
And what's your thoughts on hip hop since you began?
Wow. That's a tough question, man. You know, when I began DJing, like, you know, we're talking about Souls of Mischief, Dell, Biggie, Pac, Hove, Das Effects, Redman, EPMD. We're talking about a lot of great, I can go on and on, but a lot of really good music. Fast forward to 2010, hip hop is it's real gimmicky. The crowd is not as musically knowledgeable as you would hope them to be sometimes. You know, sometimes you do get to play for a really knowledgeable crowd, and you get to dig into crates and you get to really play some bangers and some joints. But like I said, I mean, I'm split on the state of hip hop right now. You know, we do got some great artists like J. Cole, Wiz Khalifa, Drizzy, even Ross, and you know, Hove still doing his thing. But, you know, we also got a lot of gimmicky bubblegum hip hop, you know, and kind of, I mean, I like to party to it too, but I think the state of hip hop right now has kind of led me in other directions with music. It's allowed me to appreciate other types of music that I wasn't really messing with earlier on in my career. You know, we're starting to really take a turn towards a lot of the electro, you know, a lot of electro hop stuff, and kind of even just experimenting with things that you can't even put your finger on. Like, I can't even tell you what kind of music it is, because it's just a mishmash of like everything, you know. So that's really all I can say about that right now.
For sure. And you have anything to say to the West Coast?
Man, the West Coast, I love y'all out here, man. I made, you know, BC, Vancouver my home for a little while back in the day, so I always love coming back to Vancouver. It's always like coming back home. You know, I feel comfortable here, and you guys I really love coming to Vancouver because you guys support hip hop as a culture. You know, really embrace hip hop on all aspects of the culture, and that's really good to be able to come to a place and kind of like just take it all in, and to be able to, you know, wake and bake, you know.
And you have anything that's coming out that we can check out?
I mean, you know, me and Juice dabbling in some production, trying my hand as artists here and there. So hopefully in the next year, you guys will definitely hear some music coming out of us, as well as some production. And just right now, I'm here to focus on the artists we work with. I mean, like I said, we fuck with CP Records, so I'm there to support my man Danny, Belly, Mia Martina, the whole camp as their DJ, and just put together a really great live show. And that's my focus right now, really, just to work on the live show aspect, be able to tour these artists and enjoy life, man.
And hosting Young Cash's mixtape.
Yes,
tell us a little bit about that, because he's
man,
from the West Coast.
Yeah, most definitely, my man Young Cash. That actually came through a mutual friend of ours that had hit me up. Big shout out to my man Clyde out here. Clyde had actually hit me up on behalf of Cash and Cash's people, and they were interested in doing the joint. And they had sent over some music. I was really feeling the stuff, you know what I mean? It was a nice spin on the hip hop out here. So right away, so when I heard the music, I was like, you know, let's get it in, let's bang it out. And about after a week or 2 weeks working on the joint, we came out with the CD. It was a good project, you know. It was crazy. I know it was well received, you know. So yeah, it was a good thing to make something from Vancouver and Toronto. You know, two cats that haven't ever met each other before come together and politic and get it done and work on a project together. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's how I heard about you, because your mixtape, like that, right, he did. It was just amazing to hear about it. And then I heard about Ricochet, so I was like, never knew if I, get to interview you.
Yeah, well, see, it's led to this, so it was a good experience, definitely.
For sure. And you have anything else to say? Check you out.
Just keep supporting hip hop, keep supporting DJs, keep supporting music in general. Support your local artists, and have fun, man. That's about it.
And you got any shouts?
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody over CP Records. Shout out to my man Drama and the affiliates. Shout out to my whole team back at home in Toronto. And shouts to everybody out here. My man Pedro, so good. Always looking out for us. My man Neil from Say It Loud. G-Man and Risk, who had started messing with us from the very beginning. They had their 1 year anniversary at Fortune, so I'd like to say congratulations to them. And like everybody else who gives a shit, man. We love you too.
Yeah, it's the Archivest, y'all.
What up?
Exclusively interviewing Juice from the iLLKidz.
One out for the iLLKidz, your boy Juice. You already know what it is, Toronto's finest. STYLUS Award winners, 2010 Club DJs of the Year, 2009 Toronto DJ of the Year. You already know what it is, man. We get busy.
And what is some of your best radio show memories on the after hours that you can share with us?
Oh, wow. I don't even know how explicit I can put this, but I'm going to leave it nice, short, and sweet. One of the greatest memories I had from the after hours show. Wow, you're going back, eh? Oh, wow, that was like 10 years ago. I'd have to say the night when it was like a gang of us, and we were having like a party in the radio station, you know what I mean? We had like, it was about 20 dudes. And it was just a party going on. Like, it wasn't even about the radio show no more. We had like an after hours going on at the after hours. So it was a real good feeling. Shout out to my boy Scoopy that we used to run back in the day. The old Black Supreme crew, you already know what it was. Early 90s.
Then taking it to the flow, hitting the first Canadian urban station airwaves. What does this do for you? Let us know how it's done in the West.
First of all, big shouts to Flow 935. We get to them with them. We used to do a lot of live to air, and it opened a lot of doors for us because a lot of people do listen online. So for the few people that didn't know about iLLKidz, and they heard me cut it up on air, they would usually call us for bookings out west, even though we had our original team out here already, but it opened up a lot of doors for us, so shout out 935.
And on BET, Big Tig saying you're some of his favorite DJs in the North to be recognized on a mainstream level.
Definitely. Like, I'm very humble for that, first of all. Big shouts to my boy Big Tigger doing big things. Honestly, the chemistry with me and Big Tigger from the jump, it was crazy. Like, Big Tigger is like besides that TV figure he is, he's a real down-to-earth dude, and he showed us a lot of love. We worked together on many occasions, I think maybe 3 years straight for Caravana. a lot of love, good chemistry, and it's just good dude, man. Big shouts to Big Tig, man. Respect for that. Shout out, you already know what it is, man.
And what has been one of the best events that you've been a part of in the club atmosphere?
Wow, there's so many, man. Since we're in Van City, I'll have to say big shouts to my dude Neil. We did a Shine a lot of times. Shine's crazy. You know what I mean? There's so many to choose from, but one I can really pinpoint, I would have to say the very first time I came here, we were at Bar None. This was like 2000, I think, 99. I had the greatest time of my life. We had some stripper chicks there. They were feeling the dude, you know? So it's like they had a limo outside and everything. So my B-boys were breaking in the club. I was cutting it up on the ones and twos. After the girls had the little limo outside, I didn't even know, that wasn't even part of the plan. But they brought us out, we went to the hotel and we kicked it off. So that was one of the best memories I can remember back in the day, you know?
And what has been some of your best hip-hop memories that you've been part of or contributed to?
Wow, there's so many, man, but I would have to say, most recently, the Help for Haiti show we did alongside my people from CP that put it together. Big shout out to CP Records, Tony Sal, what up? The big man Belly, what up? Cash, what up? I mean, we did a little fundraiser for Haiti when the whole ordeal went down in Haiti. And for me, it wasn't just, you know, going and doing a party. I knew I was making a contribution to make things better where people are less fortunate, so I felt like that was the best thing for me lately.
And what are some of your thoughts on the hip-hop scene since you began?
I mean, I'm an older guy, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I was there when hip-hop was hip-hop and where it is now. And it's like, it's all good to me, you know what I mean? I'm a DJ, I show love, and I respect people doing what they do, whether they're from the South or whatever, but I mean, the game's changed, and it's all about these young kids right now. So, I mean, hip-hop to me nowadays is not what it was before, but it's just a new era. So, I mean, I show love to whoever is working hard and they do their thing, but I'm more of a 90s guy. You know what I mean? If I'm in my whip rolling or whatever, I might have an old Wu-Tang CD and some old Nas or something like that, but I'm not, you won't really hear me playing no Soulja Boy in my car or none of that new young kid stuff, you know what I mean? I play it for the crowd, but I'm more of a 90s guy. I like my old school.
And you have anything to say to the West Coast?
Wow, first of all, thank God for your chronic. I love your chronic out here. I love that BC bud. Like, I wish I could bring some home with me, but I'm not taking them chances. But I mean, big shout out to everybody in the West Coast. You know who you are. I don't want to really mention names because if I do and I forget somebody, you're going to get mad at me. So, big shout out to the whole West Coast, the whole Van City, everybody that showed us love over the years. It's been a pleasure, and I hope we keep coming back out here to keep rocking for y'all in the West.
And you have anything we can expect that's coming up?
We have a lot of things coming up, a lot of things I really don't want to put out there yet, but just keep looking out for the iLLKidz. We stays busy. We've been doing this for years, and we're going to keep doing this for you, for the people. I mean, we look out for a lot of things that we're doing with CP Records, first of all, because CP Records has been helping us open up a lot of doors in our career, internationally. You know what I mean? They have a lot of, like a handful of amazing artists. You know, Belly, Daddy Fernandez, Mia Martina, and it's just a good look because it's another step to our career as a DJ. I feel like this is like a stepping stone thing we're doing, and it's like this is another step. You know, I'm working with the label, and it's a blessing, and I'm very humbled for the opportunity. So, one love to CP.
And you have anything to add to our awesome interview?
I mean, one love to the Archivest, man. You guys do it big out here, man. I did a little research on y'all, man. I saw your Facebook. You guys gets it in. So, thank you for the opportunity. One love to my dudes. You already know what it is, man.
For sure. And you got any shouts?
Big shout out to everybody, man. I'm not a hater. I love everybody, man. Even the ones that don't like me, it's you guys that help me keep doing this. So, big shout out to the haters, for sure. Big shout out to everybody. I love you, moms. She brought me to this world. Big shout out to my dad for busting that nut.
Alright, and this is the Archivest, and you already know the name,
y'all. You know what it is, man. Big shout, salute.
Show, and this is the Archivest, and you already know the name, y'all.
You know the deal, Archivest. Act like you know, baby. iLLKidz. Peace.